probably the last attempt that I'm gonna have for this cup. If I don't get it, I'll probably never get it because this is it. Something crazy happened at McDonald's. I went over there, I ordered one meal, I was supposed to get one cup. They said, "Oh, we're working on your fries. Can you go to waiting station number one?" I went to waiting station number one. I was sitting there forever. And I finally walked in and they were so sorry they had me waiting. I think they forgot about me. Anyway, she kept offering me an apple pie, a blueberry pie. I said, no, 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 I don't want those things. I go, but I will take an extra cup. And she gave me the shush sign, like shh, like this shh. And then she gave me 2 cups. So here is my first cup. I mean, here you go. Opening it the hard way. Dun, dun, dun. Come on, Sonny. And it is the heck Beckham. I got so many Beckhams already. This is my second or third Beckham. Here's the next one. If it's another Beckham, I'm going to be ticked off. Let me see the number. They said these numbers make a difference here, but this one here said 1225. This one also says 1225. I don't know.
It could be another Beckham. Or Grimace. Come on, Grimace.
We need positive energy, not this Grimace energy. I'm keeping my eyes closed this time. You see me? I'm keeping my eyes closed.
Your eyes are open. Okay, go. Put. Dad!
Oh, I got it! I got my eyes closed. Oh my god! Finally, I got it. This is crazy. Oh my god, this is crazy. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, is it?
You did it! You did it!
Welcome to my vacation recap. So the last 2 weeks of vacation went by super fast. I can't believe it's already almost over, and I will be heading back into work in the next day or two. So I flew out of LAX and I got to Tokyo, Japan, and the jet lag hit me really hard. I walked around like a zombie most of the time the first couple days, and I kept waking up at like 2, 3 in the morning and couldn't get back to sleep. Go figure, right? While traveling in Japan, we used a lot of public transportation to get around, and for the most part, both in Japan and Korea, you have to observe like kind of like library manners in the trains and buses and even in some of the taxis. You have to keep quiet. People don't want you to be on the phone. It's very rude if you're actually talking on the phone while you're on the subway or the bus or something. It's strange, right? I mean, when you're in the taxi and you got the taxi to yourself, it's not really a big deal. But for the most part, on the trains and buses, they don't want you to be on the phone. They don't want you to be talking loud. They don't want you to basically stick out or cause some kind of a disturbance. So it's awkward for Americans and some Europeans and people from around the world when they get into these situations where they just have to keep quiet. For the most part, most Americans, we get loud when we are hanging out with our friends or family, and we get animated when we're talking. So it is something to be mindful about. So when I got to Tokyo, we walked around a little bit, had some really good food. Like I said, I was so out of it, I don't really remember how good it was. It's kind of failed. I was told about how incredible their draft beer was. And on the first floor of our hotel, we had actually a small bar. We tried their beer out, and it's supposed to be like the super cold draft beer. And the beer was really good. I was thoroughly impressed. So it seems like they're trying to create a creamy head of foam that stays pretty thick and consistent throughout the time that you're drinking the beer. And they are perfecting this like science. It's really impressive. So a short distance from where we were staying, there's a place called Tsukiji, which is known for their seafood. And we ended up in a place called Kanimatsuri Crab Restaurant. I'm talking crab for days here. It's crazy. The quality of the crab and also the flavor of the snow crab and the king crab was amazing. So basically this whole area in Tsukiji was filled with seafood shacks and stores and restaurants, as well as gift shops and tourist areas. But it was a lot of fun walking through these streets because they have very tasty desserts as well as seafoods and drinks. It was a interesting seafood, street food experience in Tokyo. So I already talked to you guys about how Japan is perfecting the art of pouring the draft beer or filling the glass of the draft beer. We ended up at this place called Ginza Place. It's a Sapporo draft beer bar in Ginza Place in Tokyo, and they pour what's known as the black label. And this beer is considered the perfect beer. There's a lot of signs of perfect beers all over Japan, but this is considered the perfect beer in Japan, the black label. They only limit you to 2 beers per visit, and I was very skeptical at first, but to be honest with you, it is crazy how good this beer is. The temperature of the beer is super cold, and as you drink, the foam doesn't really disappear. You see the layers through the foam as you drink down the beer. So every time you take a gulp or a sip, you see another layer, a marking on the foam down the inside of the glass. It's crazy. And the foam stays consistent. It's very creamy. It adds to the flavor of the beer. It's just like the perfect balance. That's why they call it the perfect beer. So then I had some really good wagyu at this teppanyaki place. That was followed up by ramen the next day in a weird cubbyhole style eating experience where you just focus in on your food, then you eat quickly, and then you leave. I kid you not. I started the second leg of my trip in Seoul with a Korea versus South Africa FIFA World Cup match, and it was an experience of a lifetime being at a pub in Itaewon, Seoul, Korea, and rooting for South Korea during the World Cup. We lost, but it was still an experience and a lot of fun. And if you haven't noticed already, most of this trip is centered around me eating food. I cut out as much touristy stuff as possible and tried to spend my money on eating good food, stuff that I cannot eat anywhere else in the world. Sometimes we get a hit, and sometimes we've had better somewhere else, you know? But we've had a variety of hot noodles, cold noodles, a lot of Hanu Korean barbecue, which is excellent. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I consider Hanu probably the best Korean barbecue beef in the world, and you could only get it in Korea. One of my daughters is very good at the claw machine, and so we spent a lot of time trying to get prizes from the claw machine. I wasn't very successful, but anytime I needed help, I asked her to help me out, and she would pull things out for me. We also spent time meeting some old friends, going to a wedding, and doing some shopping, and again, eating a lot of good food. I had an interesting cream cheese with chives that cost a lot of money, and it ended up tasting really good with my bagel. We had a lot of Korean style shaved ice, what they call bingsu, and that was very, very good in Korea as well. Got to see the light show at the Han River. That's always a treat. And then we took the Seoul train to Busan. Busan is at the southern part of Korea before you hit the island of Jeju. And Busan is also a great place with a lot of good food. And our place was right in front of the beach. We had a great scenic view, and every leg of this trip, I ended up spending time with different groups of people. Because we had a lot of family and friends that went on this trip. The first leg was in Japan, the second leg was in Seoul, and the third leg was in Busan. The sleeping accommodations were always different with different people. While I was in Busan, though, I did manage to go to several restaurants that stood out. One was an abalone and rice restaurant. I know it sounds a little exotic, but it is really good. Another one is a Hanu beef restaurant. And the other one is Jagalchi Market, which is the fish seafood market in Busan. Now, we had really good crab legs in Japan, but this place blew Japan away. It was so good. And this is a live octopus cut fresh, and it's a delicacy here in Korea and not for the faint of heart. But like I said, the king crab was amazing. And then at the end, we also had what they call gokgaetang, which is a flour crab soup, and it's usually spicy. So the flight back to LA took forever because I had to fly from Busan, South Korea to Narita Airport in Tokyo, and then from there I flew to LAX. But there was about a 7 or 8 hour layover, and so I was dying. I'm still not completely recuperated, but I had a lot of time to do stuff, so I ate some more wagyu. I had some soba buckwheat noodles, and I also had some time to take some interesting artsy videos of myself. And then I flew back, and that was pretty much my trip. So I don't know if I'm ready to start driving, but ready or not, here I come, right? So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that little bit that little recap. There's a lot that happened on the trip, but you know, that's about as much as I'm gonna get into. So yeah, if you guys get a chance, you guys should definitely check out Korea and Tokyo. Thank you for following me on this journey. God bless all of you. If you're a driver out there, stay safe. Peace. And until next time, cheers.